and welcome to Teleislas News with the most important news of the day.
The Congress of the Republic recognizes the management of Parlamentarian Elizabeth Jay Pang. Today in the afternoon, Jay Pang received the honor of the Simón Bolívar Award.
This afternoon, Parliamentarian Elizabeth Jay Pang was decorated with the Order of Democracy Simón Bolívar in the degree of the Grand Cross, the highest recognition that parliamentarians can obtain for their good performance and legislative work in the Congress of the Republic. The merit was delivered by the President of the Chamber of Representatives, Germán Blanco Alvarez, who praised the work done by the representative in favor of the islanders, among which stands out the materialization of the bill, through which the traditional architecture of the typical housing of the Rizal people of the archipelago of San Andres is recognized as intangible cultural heritage of the nation, and which is for the presidential sanction, in addition to other bills that are being processed in the Senate of the Republic, among other efforts after 3 years as a parliamentarian.
And through a statement, IDEAM said that the threat of increased wind speed and wave height will persist during these days.
According to IDEAM, this increase in wind speed and swell height will be particularly noticeable in the central area of the Caribbean. It is suggested that fishermen and users of small boats consult with the port authorities before setting sail. The wind could reach intensities between 25 and 30 knots, with the possibility of higher gusts as well as swell height of between 3.5 and 4 meters. Due to the above, IDEAM suggests a red alert for swell and wind conditions in the central Caribbean Sea, and an orange alert is recommended in the east and west of the National Maritime Area. Analysis and forecast models indicated that the alert for the moderate to strong winds or increased wave will be felt with greater intensity from today in the afternoon, Wednesday, July 7th, and until the morning of next Friday, July 9th. The evolution of the condition will be updated for the weekend. Similarly, it is worth noting that yesterday the port captaincy of the island also announced that these increases in wind and wave height are due to the interaction of high-pressure system located over the Atlantic Ocean and a low-pressure system positioned south of the Colombian Caribbean coast.
And the third payment cycle of 2021 for the Familias en Acción program has already started in the department. The Department of Social Prosperity informed what daily payments of this program will be made.
The Administrative Department of Social Prosperity announced that this week the third cycle of payment of the program Families in Action, which will benefit more than 2.12 million households that are part of the program. Dora Flores, coordinator of the program in the archipelago, gave details of the payment cycle.
The payment of the incentives of Familias en Acción started yesterday, July 6th. The people who have a bank account have to go directly to the Banco Agrario. Their incentive will be deposited to their account that they have with that bank. On the other hand, those who at this moment do not have an account with this bank will receive their incentive in the form of a money order. Therefore, they have to go to a supergiro. Directly, this incentive will be deposited in the form of a money order. The National Department for Social Prosperity, the departmental government, and the program Familias en Acción is inviting all beneficiaries who are enrolled in the program to come to collect their incentive. This incentive that is being offered corresponds to health and education. Then I extend the invitation to come.
Payment for people linked to the program will go until July 24th. The entity reminds citizens to come to the collection point only on the day that corresponds to their ID card schedule. Do not make agglomeration and remember the biosecurity protocols.
And the Social Development Secretariat launched a tool that aims to enable people with hearing impairment to communicate.
The application allows interaction between deaf and hearing people. Likewise, it connects with online interpreters and gives you communication option to meet the requirements that arise.
¿Has pensado cómo hace una persona?
Have you thought about how a deaf person do to communicate and ask for medicine at a pharmacy? If you're a deaf person or daily deal with people with this disability, we invite you to watch this clip. The Relay Center was a tool created by the Ministry of ICT and seeks to streamline communication between deaf and hearing people because it has online interpreters and other forms of communication.
Interested persons only need to download the Relay Center application on their cell phone and enter their username and password. After confirmation, they will be able to make use of this new tool.
The number of COVID-19 infections increased once again. 41 COVID cases are reported for the islands today, according to the National Health Institute.
The daily report by the National Institute of Health report 41 cases of COVID-19 by the department today. An increase of COVID cases is evident in the last few days after last week's low number of reported infections. Since the beginning of the pandemic until today, the department has had a total of 6,499 infections according to the National Institute. The latest local report as of 5th of July indicates that 6,420 cases have been reported. 85 cases were active up to this moment, and 6,196 recovered. As of today, St. Andrews has no deaths due to the virus. The pandemic has left 128 deaths in the department.
After the last report issued by FINDETER on the reconstruction process, Teleislas News interviewed the technical vice president of the financial institution for territorial development, who explained the progress.
530 houses repaired, 699 roofs installed, and 147 new houses under construction, including those in the demolition stage. This is the report issued by FINDETER this past Friday. The technical vice president explained about the 147 houses in execution and how they are distributed.
The stage of demolition of the houses we have, which is the first one to be completed. Subsequently, the construction of this type of housing, which is one on the list of 910 new housing units, or the other type of housing, which is made of galvanized steel, and that we call type 2 or type 4 housing, depending on the areas where it will be built.
The process is moving forward for the construction of the 910 new houses with two types of house, the RP and the galvanized steel house.
This past June, we finished the construction of houses like this one. About 50 of those we call RP, and one of those we call Type 2. We completed 10 houses in the course of this week. We are working on the completion of 4 more houses, which is the proposal we had as of June 30th.
As for this month of July, the goal is the following.
Subsequently, for this month of July, we have to increase and reach the completion of 50 new houses between these two types.
For tomorrow's broadcast, the Vice President will explain what type of houses are the RP kind.
And last week, the Municipal Council was called to extra sessions for the study of 2 projects presented by Mayor Jorge Norberto Gary.
2 projects were presented by the mayor before the council last weekend in extra sessions. One sought the purchase of a new property for the relocation of families at risk, which was voted on yesterday in the budget committee but was not approved.
El alcalde municipal presentó
The municipal mayor presented a project for the relocation of people in risk zones. I am president of the commission. We visited the lot and we realized that the site was not adequate for the relocation of the families. So we have decided to find that project.
The second seek to authorize the mayor to be linked to the departmental plan of business management of water and sanitation services, and at the same time to commit exceptional future funds until 2030 as a contribution in subsidies in investment in the framework of the departmental water plan.
La comisión no tiene claro cuál es exactamente el beneficio que va a tener el municipio a través de esta vinculación. También tiene unos artículos de unas facultades que está solicitando para vigencias futuras y modificaciones al presupuesto. Y consideramos de que es importante que la administración municipal se acerque a responder unas inquietudes.
Second project continues to be studied.
The General Comptroller's Office, through its Delegate for Citizen Participation, promotes the creation of 6 citizen oversight groups to monitor the reconstruction plan in the municipality. These will monitor the public management of authorities and entities that develop projects in the sectors of housing, hotels and tourism, public services, education, health, and the construction project of the El Embrujo Airport. With the support of the Municipal Ombudsman, the oversight bodies are being formed, and so far they are integrated by 31 citizens of the islands of Old Providence and Santa Catalina. And now we continue with your Community Chronicles.
In today's Community Chronicle, we will learn the story of 3 merchants who continue to struggle in times of pandemic.
The pandemic came as a tsunami that swept away many businesses, but also were in the midst of the fear of not knowing what would happen. Several micro-entrepreneurs decided not to give up and adopted new methods that they had never explored before to get ahead.
We started with the famous home deliveries, something we were not used to, but some businesses, very few. How have I held up? I make a monthly barbecue to cover my main needs.
The Tourist Guild did not give up their arms to twist either.
We have tried to survive as best as we can, attending to tourism and trying to please them since we work with them.
A guild that you would think would have no difficulties in the midst of a quarantine was also hit by the dreaded coronavirus.
I had to go out with fear and try to continue selling some of the product, although everything changed. The night before the curfew was impressive. People were nervous, people came who I would not have imagined, and the sales were spectacular. So far, I think I have been a survivor because many closed their businesses. I saw downtown San Andres as a ghost town, and with businesses closing, I felt a wave that was going to catch me, but even though to this day everything has not improved, we are steadying ourselves.
Some say thank you, others ask to be able to work, and some give words of encouragement.
No thanks to God, we have an influx of tourism again and we have moved forward again. I invite you to continue fighting to move forward. I really need to work. I want to work, but legally.
Reinvent itself, innovate, adapt, but above all, rise like a phoenix from the ashes, those left by the coronavirus fire on the island.
And now we continue with the weather forecast. The weather forecast for tomorrow, July 7th, in the coastal area of the archipelago, the sky will be with electric storm. Temperature will be 29 degrees Celsius, with winds from the northeast direction with intensities of 26 km per hour. Humidity forecast will be of 76% and probability of precipitation will be of 50%.